Hey everyone, I've decided to do a little project that I want to document. I have become increasingly frustrated with my Atari collection disorganization. As the collection grows, I've become more and more disorganized with it, and it's becoming a mess. So I decided to build a little custom display case slash shelving system for my Atari consoles and games. So I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I'm a pretty handy guy, but I don't do a lot of woodworking, and I'm a little concerned about my design. I'm not sure, it's a little ambitious, and I'm not sure how it's all going to turn out, but I figured I'd give it a shot, and I'm going to document my progress, and we'll see how it all turns out. So I'm going to turn this mess here, which is just kind of a disaster. And I've got games over here as well. They're all separated out, and it's just not at all. My room's kind of a mess in general, so I'm kind of embarrassed here. But this is not good. It makes me not want to come out here when my room is not pleasing and organized, and I really need to do something about it. So I'm going to build this shelf here, and we're going to see how it turns out, and I'm going to take you guys along the way with me. So here we go. Alright guys, I'm here getting ready to get started on my project, and thankfully I have access to my friend's awesome wood shop. As you can see, I have access to a nice table saw, air compressor if I need it. Here's all my wood that I bought. I have a radial arm saw, scrap wood if I need it. So I did just buy cheap wood because I spent about $140 on the materials so far, and hopefully that's all I need. But it's just pine, kind of basic wood, but that's all I really could afford. I didn't want this thing to cost, $300 or $400, so this is what I decided to buy. So here is my rough rudimentary plan for this project. Basically, it is a display case or shelf with console displays on top and cartridge display shelves on the bottom, and the front will open up to reveal a second layer of games. And that's my one area of concern. I think it's going to be fine, but obviously when this is open, I have concerns of the shelf tipping forward, but I think it's going to be deep enough, and this won't weigh a lot. And this won't be open a lot. Just when I go to access these games here in its normal state, I think this cabinet will be just fine. So that's my hope anyway. So I'm super excited about the way this design is going to fit my needs perfectly. It's going to condense all of my consoles and my carts. And actually, I've rethought a little bit. I'm going to put just a few shelves in the back, maybe 3, and have the bottom section for controller storage. So I can put my controllers and my peripherals and cords and stuff in the bottom here. So when I close it up, it'll look nice and neat and have all my carts on display. So I have access to so many great tools and this nice big table, and I got, nail guns and everything I need I've got in this shop. So I'm so thankful that I have a friend that let me use his wood shop here. Got some heat because it's kind of cold out. So I'm on my way, guys. This is going to be a new endeavor for me with this woodworking project, so I'm looking forward to this, but we'll see how it turns out. So I decided to build this front shelf first. That way I can determine how much this cutout's going to be exactly, so it all fits together just right. And here's all the pieces that I cut. And the next step is to do a light sanding with my sander here. 220 grit, just to give it a light sanding, and then I'll put it together. Alright guys, it's coming along nicely so far. And I can't express enough how awesome it is having these wonderful tools to use, because I bought wood screws to use for this, but now I can use this really nice air-powered nail gun to do all the nailing, and it seems to work really well, so I'm super excited about that. So as you can see, all you got to do is just go. That's pretty cool. So that's been super nice to have these nice tools here at my disposal. Beautiful. I even have this handy stapler, air-powered stapler, that I use for putting the backing on. It's coming along. So I put little plastic feet on the bottom here, or not feet, but little plastic things on the bottom, so when the shelf opens, let's see here on my drawing, so when it's closed, I guess I should say, it's forced to sit square, and I think that's going to help because there's going to be a bottom piece here that's the same width as the top shelf, so when it's closed it's nice and tight and square, but there's going to be a gap at the bottom so it doesn't drag, and a gap at the top obviously, so when this thing opens up it should hopefully work the way that I want it to. So we will see. Well guys, time for a lunch break, but my little monstrosity here is coming together. So far no mistakes, believe it or not. So I'm going to start putting it together more after lunch. Alright guys, a little update here. I'm actually shocked at how well this is going. I haven't made any mistakes yet, which is very much unlike me, but it is coming along rather nicely. So very, very excited. Alright guys, here's a bit of a mock-up. It's pretty much all assembled. I don't have the door hinges on and all that stuff. But I cannot believe how quickly I've assembled this thing and how well this is going. I'm super excited with how well this is turning out so far. So this is going to be the part that opens, and then here you've got the next layer of shelves and some controller and cord storage at the bottom there. So this is awesome. I cannot wait to get this thing stained up and finished. It's turning out just as I wanted it. Alright, so I decided to come back late tonight. It's around 9 p.m. to put a clear coat on because I got all the staining done, which I'm kind of surprised I got as far as I did, to be honest with you. This went extremely well, so very happy with my progress. Did all this in one day. So I'm going to try to assemble the door / shelf here and put a clear coat on. That way I'll let it dry overnight and I should be able to come back tomorrow and pick it up, maybe even get it all set up. So super excited. So I'm not going to clear coat it tonight after all. It's still a little wet, I think because it's so cold it hasn't dried enough. So I'm going to let it sit overnight and dry, and I'll clear coat it in the morning. The good thing is the clear coat only takes about 30 minutes to dry, so I still should be able to get it finished tomorrow. I went ahead and drilled my holes in the back of my two upper shelves because I'm going to use those for consoles that I plan on having turned on and hooked up. So I went ahead and did that and touched up a little bit of the stain, and I will revisit this tomorrow. So, oh well. Alright guys, so I finished assembling and staining and clear coating it, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. So I got the hinges on the side here, and it works just as I'd hoped, revealing the inside. Put a magnet on there, it magnets shut, and it all fits together just perfectly. So there's the finished product before I get it all set up, and I just can't believe I did this in one weekend, to be honest with you. So again, super happy with the way it turned out. It's not perfect because, you know, I did this in one weekend, but it's I'm very, very happy with the turnout. So there it is. Next I'll be setting it up in the room and showing you the final product. And we have Mother Brand.
Oh my gosh.
Came to help me put it in the truck and to bless it for me. So there she is in her glory. Okay, so I'm back in my retro room, and maybe you can tell by this smile that will not leave that this project was a huge success. And I just cannot believe that in one weekend, basically a day and a half, this is in my room and set up and complete. It went way faster than I expected. It actually turned out better than I expected. Didn't make any mistakes, didn't waste any wood. I just can't believe how successful I was at this, because I would have expected to make many mistakes and because I'm not a wood guy, so this is, you know, I don't do this a lot. But I can't wait to show you. So if you remember the mess from before, I'm going to grab the camera now and show you the finished product in its finished placement. Alright, so here we go. Maybe I'll put a drum roll sound effect in here or something, but here is the new cleaned up Atari area with my new shelf. So I'm, again, super excited with how well it turned out. I love how it looks and where it fits in my room here. No more cluttery mess all over the place. Everything's nice and consolidated into one little package. And I have my display area up on top, and all my games down below with their custom slots where they fit in just perfectly. And again, my favorite part is the part that opens, and I have my little cubby for controllers and wires and such, and this is all my room for future expansion, which will enthuse me to do more aggressive game hunting maybe. So I am just so thrilled with how this turned out. Got a little magnet I put in there so it stays shut. It doesn't tip over like I was kind of worried about, and I'm just ecstatic about how good this turned out. So, and I hope you don't take me for bragging, because it's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just excited that I designed this way and it worked the way I want it, and it's just so much nicer to have this set up out here compared to what I had before. So I did keep these. I do like these little cases that I have, or little display, whatever you want to call them. I actually happen to have exactly 16 of the Activision games, so I put them in here. And these are kind of categorized alphabetically to a degree. I think you guys know I'm funny about how I display my games. I can't mix them up as far as color schemes and such, so they're alphabetized in groups, which is how I like to do it. So that's just my style. To each their own, right? But I've got so much more room for expansion and for more games, which I'm excited about, because as I get more games, I can just neatly put them in my new display shelf. And this stuff up here might, you know, change. I've got controllers up there, which aren't really, I mean, it's a display shelf, but it's also a practical shelf. These are actually plugged up and hooked up to the television. So it's an active kind of area. So that's why I have the controllers out and such. I'm not real funny about everything being super, you know, like a museum kind of thing. So what struck me, though, putting this together and setting this up was, you know, how much of this stuff was given to me as gifts. This up here was from Musty Hobbit, and that kind of kickstarted my Atari collecting, because at the time I didn't have an Atari yet. And this really kickstarted my modern collecting here. So this Junior was given to me by Chris Roberts, and this is the one that I bought myself, the 4-switch Woody. This was given to me by Rich, the single banana. The what do you call it, the rollerball controller and the Missile Command inbox. This was given to me by Chris Roberts as well, the 7800. And many of these games have been given to me by people. And oh, can't forget my good friend Barrett O'Mars gave me this controller at C3 for Star Raiders. So that was nice of him. So anyway, it just really, I'm glad that I have something that I made myself to put all this stuff on here that was given to me from the community. So, you know, it's not really an Atari shelf, it's more of a community love shelf. It sounds kind of cheesy, but that's kind of how I see it. There's so much on here that has been given to me out of kindness, and it just really makes me think of the community and how great it is and how wonderful it's been for me to be part of. So yeah, this is, needless to say, very special to me. And it just, again, I'm so excited with how it turned out, and it enabled me to clean up this shelf, which this is, again, I'm in a, how am I going to say it? I am in a mode here. I'm going to be doing a lot of this kind of thing. And honestly, this disastrous monstrosity is next. This sagging, junky bookshelf that I turned into a game shelf is next. I'm going to build something for my NES stuff because I'm so frustrated with all this mess and how the games are on top of each other and whatnot. It's just, they're always falling over, and I can't stand it. So because this shelf here went so well, I'm going to make a custom shelf for my NES stuff next. So I'm excited about that as well, and probably upgrade all this stuff. So anyway, that is that. I'm so thankful you guys came along on this ride with me. It's been so fun to film and to document this. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this this shelf, and you know, I look forward to doing other projects that I can document. So I'm going to put the camera back on the tripod and say goodbye. All right, well, there you have it. Thanks again, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Take care.